Coach obviously got the win and has times where we played really well and times they got sloppy. I saw a couple times on your face like, here we go. But then I saw a couple times you were happy. Just your overall thoughts on what you saw today.
Well, I think when you're able to win a game like that, where both teams are playing extremely hard, you're going to have some sloppy play. They were physical. We were physical. They got hands on balls. We did the same. We had a tough third quarter as far as turnovers are concerned. I thought that kind of put us in a bit of a mire as far as the offense. And when you turn the ball over like that, you're playing against you got to set your defense, and you don't get an attempt. And so that can be a bit deflating, but I thought we got out of it in the fourth. But there were moments for us that are going to be great tomorrow in film session because we won an ugly game against a team that plays really, really hard. That's all they've done is play hard and compete. And we basically played against ourselves. And to be able to feel like you didn't play as well and score 125 points, that's a good thing for us. So I'd rather teach off of a night like this than to not play as well as you want to and lose the game. So I'm glad we're going to have some teaching moments for tomorrow.
All right, next question comes from Kellen Olsen with Arizona Sports. He'll be followed by Gina Mizell. Go ahead, Kellen.
Hey, Monty. Washington really likes to push the pace, and it felt like at times with what you were saying that the team kind of had to level out and it was struggling at times to do so. How did you feel like – it sounds like you thought the fourth quarter is where they got to it a bit and balancing out?
Well, the fourth quarter, the second wasn't that bad either. I mean, we're +8 there. I just thought the third quarter we turned it over so much. When you turn it over, you can't run your offense. One of the things about us, when we run our secondary offense, the ball moves, players move, and we get to wear teams down a little bit. That wasn't the case, especially in that third quarter. But, trying to corral Ish Smith, it's like trying to herd cats. I mean, he's a jet, and he got to the paint. He was knocking down his shot. He was kicking it to guys for threes. But I thought we held our poise. I thought when they did make that run in the third quarter, I didn't think our guys, felt panic at all. I just thought we had to regroup and execute a bit better. And to me, the game, you look at Book's numbers, you look at DA's numbers, and we have a number of guys in double figures. But what Cam and Javon did defensively in the first half, that kind of changed the momentum for us. I thought it gave us some juice when we didn't have it at a high level.
And next up, we have Gina Mizell. She will be followed by Tressa Tudrick with Channel 3, Channel 5. Go ahead, Gina.
Hey, Monty, you just mentioned DA's numbers. His second half in particular, just maybe what changed? Was it stuff that you were running? Was it just opportunity? What allowed him to have just a monster second half?
I thought Coach Darko said it best. He didn't chase it. He just played the right way, and he ended up with the numbers that he had. He was at the rim. He's shooting threes. In the clock situations, he had the ball in his hand. He didn't panic. When guys don't get the touches they want, there's a tendency to go after it and try to press the issue a little bit. And I didn't see that from him. So that's a level of growth. And then the other level was, me being able to trust him with 2 fouls in the first half. And I think he played a really long stretch with those 2 fouls. And for him to be able to do that without picking up a silly one to get his third, that's a sign of growth for him. So overall, a big-time game for him, but I like his poise across the board tonight. Whether it was on offense or defense, I thought he kept his poise all night.
Hey, Coach, thank you again for your time. A quick one. I'm sorry if you've already answered, but can I get your general thoughts on just your first thoughts on this first official game, starting things out? And, yeah.
I mean, we're in July playing NBA basketball. Just wrap your mind around that. I mean, it's a different deal. Just throw out all the variables, right? We're in July playing NBA basketball, regular season, and everyone's in Orlando, Florida, but 8 teams. I mean, that's just a different phenomenon, different thing. Nobody's ever dealt with this. And so we're all dealing with the same thing. We're all have the same constraints, and we get a chance to hoop. So that's the way we look at it. We get another chance to compete. the door is cracked open, but we kept it open tonight with a big win, and that's all you can do. Control what you do, and hopefully things will fall your way.
All right, next up we have Lucas Nepomuceno with Cafe Belgrado in Brazil. He'll be followed by Kent Sommers with the Arizona Republic. Go ahead, Lucas.
Hi, Coach. Congratulations on the win.
Thank you.
Was the lineup today based on the matchup, or do you see going with them the rest of the way?
We're not sure. Dario was in the lineup and he sprained his ankle, and then we put Cam in the lineup against Toronto, and the team looked really good. We had defensive versatility. We played fast. I don't think we played that as fast as we normally played. In this kind of environment, you have to be ready for adjustments. Depending on other teams or what we want to do, you could see a different lineup with Dario starting and Cam coming off the bench. I didn't think Cam played with his normal confidence, and then you look up and he's got 12 points, and I think he shot 5 for 8. So it's pretty cool when you don't look like you played a great game, and yet you still have that kind of production. So it was more about us and what was going to help us than Washington as far as the lineup is concerned.
All right, next up we have Kent Sommers with the Arizona Republic. He'll be followed by Cody Cunningham with the Phoenix Suns.
Monty, when things were going poorly at the beginning of the third quarter or even halfway through, you waited quite a while to take that time out. I mean, what did you want to see from your guys? I guess you were kind of challenging them a little bit, thinking they're going to turn it around?
I mean, I think there's times where you have to let them figure it out. I watched Coach Jackson, even though he had different teams, but he wasn't always quick to pull the trigger on the timeout. There's some games, I'll pull the trigger seconds into a quarter or seconds into a game. But tonight, I felt like it wasn't like we were, intentionally doing anything wrong, and we just kept turning the ball over. And so, I can use a timeout and say, hey, guys, stop turning the ball over. We know that. It wasn't anything strategically or tactically that we needed to change. We just needed to stop turning the ball over. And I thought we were a bit casual in our transition defense. And that's when we finally did have a timeout. That was what I said to him. We can't be casual. We can't run with our man. Our mentality is sprint and turn. And we didn't have that mentality in the third quarter, and we turned it over. So I did hold on to it tonight, but it was with a bit of a purpose.
All right, Coach, final question comes from Cody Cunningham with the Phoenix Suns. Go ahead, Cody.
Hey, Coach. Not sure if you're aware, but this was actually your 200th career regular season victory. Just what does that mean to you, especially, in this scenario?
Gosh, I don't know. I mean, I'd love to have 1,000, but I'm thankful to have 200 at my age. It just says a lot about the people that have given me opportunities, like Greg Popovich and R.C. Buford, and Robert Sarver, and James Jones, and Hugh Weber, and Jeff Bauer in New Orleans. They've given me a chance to be in this position. And obviously you've been around for a little bit, so I don't really have time to think about it, but I had no idea, so that's pretty cool, but I usually don't have much of a clue. But I'm thankful. I'm thankful for my job. I'm thankful that I get paid to do what I love doing. I get to be around really cool people. I get to be along for the journey in so many young men's lives, and I'm really blessed. And so in that regard, that's how I see it. I'm just grateful that I've been around this long.
All right. Thank you very much for your time today, Coach.
Thank you, guys. Okay.
Hey, Devin.
What up?
All right, we're going to get started here with a question from Dwayne Rankin with the Arizona Republic. He'll be followed by Kellen Olsen, Arizona Sports. Go ahead, Dwayne.
Thanks, Palmer. Obviously, Devin, you guys got off to a good start and getting the win. I saw a couple of times, though, your face was like, we shouldn't be in this situation, shouldn't be this close. But how do you feel about how the team played overall?
I would never say we shouldn't be in this position, man. The NBA is full of talented teams. So you can't take one night for granted. But we played well in Spurs tonight. But we had times where, we need to come back together. But, we fought hard the rest of the game and, ended up with a big win. All right, Coach.
All right, next up we have a question from Kellen Olsen, Arizona Sports. He'll be followed by Tressa Tudrick, Channel 3, Channel 5.
Hey, Devin. Washington really likes to invite you guys to play fast. You and Ricky really tried to get to the basket early on to kind of set the tempo. How did you feel like you guys as a team matched them in terms of how fast they wanted to go?
I mean, we knew that coming into the game. Shabazz Napier, Ishmael, two guards that like to push the pace and, get in the seams and make plays for other teammates. So, that was on the scouting report. But, we like to play at that pace also. But, we're focused on getting stops and letting the offense just flow. So, that was our main goal, get stops. Ish made a bunch of tough shots in the mid-range that we were trying to force him to. So, but overall, we played well.
All right, next up is Tressa Tudrick with Channel 3, Channel 5. She'll be followed by Dave King with Bright Side of the Sun.
Hey, Devin, congratulations on the win. Obviously, big night for you with 27, but I want to talk to you a little bit about your big man, Deandre. Double-double, 24 points, 12 rebounds. Can you talk about what he was able to contribute and seeing his performance and growth?
Yeah, I mean, he gets better every time. I mean, outside of the 2 threes that he made, he's improved his game, in many ways and just that. He's playing efficient. He's playing well. He's setting good screens. And he's playing both sides of the ball. So you can tell, he put in the work, over quarantine. And, we have a few more games to go. And I know he's locked in. We're all locked in. And, we're looking to see the growth over these 8 games.
All right, next up, we have Dave King, Bright Side of the Sun. He'll be followed by Andrew Lopez with ESPN.
Hey, Devin. As we talked the other day, you weren't taking a ton of shots in the scrimmages, but today you felt like you had to. I think in the first half, were you just trying to get the guys in rhythm and help pick them up?
Yeah, just trying to get the team going, playing aggressive. Like I said, just taking what the defense gives me and trying to impose my will on the game. But at the same time, playing both sides of the ball and playing together as a team. So that's my job. Some nights to be aggressive and get the flow of the offense moving. So that's what I try to do every time I go out there.
All right, next up is Andrew Lopez with ESPN. He'll be followed by Gina Mizell. Go ahead, Andrew.
Hey, Devin. I know you just talked about DeAndre's growth, but just how much fun is it for you guys to be able to watch him go out there and splash some threes down and make that a part of his game?
It's very nice to see. He wouldn't even shoot them, during the first 65, but we've seen him put in the work. He's told us that he's going to shoot them, and he's put in the work. So there you have it. It matches up, with the results. So he's shooting it with confidence. He's spacing the floor, and that's going to be a big part of our offense. Of him moving shot blockers away from the rim and knocking down big shots like that.
Right, next up is Gina Mizell. She'll be followed by Ferdinand Rivera with La Guerra de la NBA. Go ahead, Gina.
Hey, Devin, I just wanted to see if you could sort of take us inside that 16-0 run you guys had in the second quarter, just what in particularly was working for you guys, because that sort of created the distance. And yeah, the Wizards made a couple of pushes, but that's really where you guys sort of created the gap that helped throughout the most of the game.
Yeah, just trying to find our second win. The first quarter out there, we could say what we want, with the scrimmage games or the practices or not, it's a different pace, when these games come. So I think the second win, when we got back out there, got comfortable and seeing what was going on, we just kept defending and getting on in transition. And we're playing like that. We don't have to run plays, just actions, just guarding and actions.
All right, Devin, our final question comes from Ferdinand Rivera with La Guerra de la NBA, Puerto Rico. Go ahead with your question, Ferdinand.
Hi, Devin. What do you like it from the team, and what is the potential of this team?
I liked everything. We're communicating. We played together. We played together and communicated through tough stretches of the game just as much as we were when we were rolling. So that's what I love to see. We're going out there, we're getting better every day, and that's the main goal for us, taking one game at a time, and come out here and compete, and try to win every game we get the chance to play.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Devin. All right, guys, we're going to have DeAndre coming up here next. How's it going, DeAndre? All right, we're going to get started here with a question from Dwayne Rankin with the Arizona Republic. He'll be followed by Kellen Olsen with Arizona Sports. Go ahead, Dwayne.
Thanks, Paul. DeAndre had a couple real quick. First, what kind of message you feel like you guys are sending at the beginning of the game with the national anthem? Everybody wearing the Black Lives Matter shirts and kneeling in unison. And then two, what do you feel like was the difference in the game today?
Well, at the end of the day, we all know what's going on and the awareness that's happening in today's world. So as a team and as an organization, we knelt together and, just to honor what was happening around the world. And me coming from a different country, understanding and, us being an international team, a lot of people from everywhere just understand what's happening in today's world and honoring it. And today's game was pretty lit. We played the way we wanted to play. We had a lot of effort, a lot of positivity. We played together, and it's just our new style of play. Great pace. Everybody's in shape.
All right, next up we have Kellen Olsen with Arizona Sports. He'll be followed by Tressa Tudrick with Channel 3, Channel 5. Go ahead, Kellen.
Hey, DeAndre, you really got it going there in the second half. How did you feel you were integrating yourself and kind of like settling in there as the game went on?
Me, I'm not a guy who wants shots. I'm a guy who's in rhythm. If I can't score this half or do anything, I'll try my best to play, make, rebound, play defense. And I let the game come to me, and I just took what the defense gave me. And my team found me in every space, every spot, every alley-oop. And they just saw how hard I was running the floor, creating shots for them when I rolled to the basket. So it was just flowing off of each other and knowing each other's personnel.
All right, next up we have Tressa Tudrick, Channel 3, Channel 5. She'll be followed by Lucas Nepomuceno with Cafe Belgrado in Brazil.
Hey, DeAndre, congratulations and thanks for your time. I want to talk to you about your 2 3-point shots and just did those have a different vibe or feel when you made them and just kind of the energy? I know there wasn't a crowd, but just how did those 2 shots feel in particular?
I'm a basketball player. That's the type of stuff you have to work on to play in the NBA.
Right, next up, we have Lucas Nepomuceno with Cafe Belgrado. He'll be followed by Dave King, Bright Side of the Sun.
Hi, Ayton. Congratulations on the win. These games in Orlando are going to be some of the most meaningful games of your life with the Suns so far. How confident are you that this core can grow into a contender in the following years?
Yeah, it's a great look for us to see where we at. To see where we can be. Us trying our best to see where we end up at the end of this thing, and just trying our best to compete in every game, going game by game and not settling for mediocre.
All right, our next question comes from Dave King, Bright Side of the Sun, and the final question will come from Andrew Lopez, ESPN. Go ahead, Dave.
Hey, DA, you touched on this a second ago. You said you're not looking to hunt shots. It was a little slow for you getting action in that first half, and it seemed like the Wizards were just playing small and fast. But then in that fourth quarter, you made a big difference for the team. Just what was your mentality for that whole game?
Not letting them change my game. I stayed the same way, and they found me every time. You're gonna have to keep playing. A team like Washington, you're gonna have to keep playing that throughout the whole game. And me, as a big guy who was a distinct roller at times, you tend to get some looks here and there. You're going to get dunks or wide open layups, and it affects the game. It affects the momentum of the game, and that's what happened today. My teammates found me in the open looks for me after every screen, and it affected the game and opened it up. It opened up the floor for us, and we just flow off it.
All right, DeAndre, our final question comes from Andrew Lopez with ESPN. Go ahead, Andrew.
Hey, DeAndre. The 3-pointers, going back to that real quick. I know it's something you've been working on. I know you said it's like a midi now, but did hitting those in the scrimmages kind of help give you confidence to start kind of letting it fly a little bit more in these games?
And I've been working on this thing my whole life, bro. I could have been shooting. It's just that I'm more comfortable with a system surrounded around me to make me shoot the shot. I've been the shot at 3. So yeah, that's it for me.
All right, that concludes today's availability. Thank you very much for your time, DeAndre.